Alright, so tier list. And we're gonna do a little bit different today. We're gonna talk about Megadeth's discography, and I'm gonna try to rank all the 16 albums Megadeth released so far as a band. Obviously, Megadeth is a thrash heavy metal band from the US, led by Dave Mustaine, with a lot of changings on the lineup on the 30, 40 plus years that they have as a band. So this is what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna have iconic, great album, decent, okay, and I'm gonna do a different category over here. Gonna do underrated. Maybe one or two albums can fall into the discography, into this category. And I can't is when I don't listen to it anymore, or I just can't listen to it. Alright, we're gonna go in order over here. So let's start with Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. It is a solid start. For me, it's okay. It has good songs like Last Ride, School Beneath the Skin, Mechanics. And what really bothers me about this album is just the sound and the production, I guess. Not the cleanest and not the sharpest. I think they are remastered albums and it sounds better, but we're talk about how they got released, right? So this is an album that becomes okay. Just for me, it's mostly because of the production. But School Beneath the Skin, it is a solid music. It is a solid song that most people don't talk about when they talk about Megadeth and then discography. Moving on, I have Peace Sells, But Who's Buying, and it is a decent album. It's still, the production bothers me a little bit less, but it's still not perfect. There's more solid songs on it. So Peace Sells obviously became almost like Megadeth's national anthem. They for years they finished the end the show with Peace Sells. They kind of changed it with Engar 18 and with Peace Sells or so, but mostly what I remember being Peace Sells. So you got Wake Up Dead, you got The Conjuring. So it is those first two albums with Chris Poland, Gar Samuelson, and Dave Allison with Mustaine, obviously. I think that's my third favorite formation of Megadeth. So it's the first formation, they managed to release two very, very solid albums to start, which is the first two albums of the band, obviously. Now, so far so good, so what? So it's a hard one because in between decent and okay, it's more, it could be a great album too. That's a hard one. I'm gonna put decent for now because it's just, I think there's 8 songs on the, let me check here, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, you know, In My Darkest Hour, probably one of my favorite songs of the band. Hook and Mouth, great, especially chorus and riff. There is Anarchy in the UK. There is the cover from Sex Pistols, Set the World on Fire. It is a very underrated song, obviously, but I don't know, I think the other songs, it's sort of like 50-60% of the album it's great, and then the rest sort of fails a little bit on the radar. So I'll put as decent just because of that. What I know is Gar and Chris Poland left the band. I forgot the name of the drummer who just play on this album, and Jeff Young play on the guitar on this specific album only. So let's move to the next one, and I think this one is very easy to put. Just Rust in Peace is iconic. It's probably iconic. You put this iconic on the top heavy metal albums, top thrash metal albums, top albums, period. It's from 1990. What else do I know about this album? Obviously Nicky Menza and Marty Friedman joined the band, and then with this quartet with Ellefson and Mustaine, they were considered the best quartet that Megadeth ever had, and I kind of agree with that. Just the sequence of the albums that they put right after is just outstanding. Obviously, Marty changed, especially solo-wise, a little bit more melodic style to the band, and I just everything is just on point. Everything is just on point on what they are as a band, as an artist. The production's great. There's every single song is a banger. Every single song is iconic. But it's really hard to put Rest in Peace anywhere but on iconic. I think everyone's agree with that, right? Everyone's gonna agree with that. Starting to move towards a more groovier, slower sound with more hooks, and it's starting to change as a band when Countdown to Extinction, but also iconic album. I think if you think about Megadeth, that these are the two albums that, if you're not very familiar with the band, they are the two albums that people talk about it. There's the biggest hit on this album of Megadeth ever, Symphony of Destruction. I do love all the songs on this album. Skin on My Teeth, Sweating Bullets, This Was My Life, They Countdown to Extinction, High Speed Dirt, Psychotron, just hit after hit after hit after hit. You can see how different the band is if you compare with Killing Is My Business and the first maybe two albums from Rest in Peace going to Countdown to Extinction. Let's move forward to an even more slower and more groovier, but still great album, Euthanasia. The reason I don't think Euthanasia is iconic as Countdown to Extinction and Rest in Peace is because they're missing a big heavy metal song. They have A Tout Le Monde, which is the closest that Megadeth ever got to a ballad, but I think they miss a big heavy song, right? Obviously, Train of Consequences, The Killing Road, or Reckoning Day maybe, Black Curtain, but they miss just a big hit. A Tout Le Monde, it is one of the biggest hits, but it is, a ballad, quote unquote ballad. So that's why. But I do love Euthanasia. There's a lot of underrated songs on this album for sure, and there's a lot of songs that I wish Megadeth could play live, but I don't think they were ever gonna do that. I think it's lost in the past. I'll be surprised if they ever start playing any of the B-sides on this album. Alright, let's go to the great hard rock album by Megadeth called Cryptive Writings. On this album there is the biggest Billboard hit of Megadeth called Trust. Incredible song. I love the live version from the album That One Night in Buenos Aires, Argentina, which is, he sings in Spanish one of the parts of the song, but Trust is just a great song, and then this whole album is a straight out hard rock album, heavy hard rock. She Wolf, it's another awesome underrated song. They play that more often than other ones that we may talk about it, but Almost Honest, they have great awesome songs on this album, and it's a very more hard radio friendly, straightforward than heavy metal song, right? Still with the quartet, Friedman, Nicky Menza, and the two Daves, but I can see they're going towards a song where they had a Risk, which is the next album we're going to talk about it, that people don't like as much. But I'm going to put Risk on the OK album. And I'm comparing Killing Is My Business with Risk. I think Risk is a slightly worse album. Totally different. This is two totally different bands. But I don't hate Risk as much as people do hate Risk. is just a different album by a heavy metal, thrash metal band, which is another thrash metal album, which is very, very little of heavy metal. It's like a hard, radio friendly, even more than Cryptive writings. But I listen to this album a lot, and then I kind of have like a soft place on my heart, maybe. Prince of Darkness is a great song. I'll Be There is a great song. I like Under Lust. I like Crushing. It just, if you take that, it's not Megadeth, it's something different. After, it's the 8th album of the band, so after 7 albums, they're sort of like trying to do something different, and they did, but it was not very well received by the fans. I can see why, but after, obviously I didn't listen to Megadeth at this time, but obviously as right now, I think people should give another chance, not another chance, but just listen to again with another set of ears and another set of eyes, maybe. I don't think it's an awful album. I understand how people don't like it, but it is just Megadeth just trying to be a little bit different, right? So after Risk, we have The World Needs a Hero, and the Nick Menza and Martin Friedman left the band, and I don't like this album. It's just Hal Pitrelli on the guitar, Jimmy DeGrasso on drums. I don't know, it's just not, there's not much that I like here. Nothing. I can see how this is more a transitional album, obviously, after the failure that Risk was. Just 2 very important members of the band left, so just Mustaine and Ellefson just trying to find the right fit, and then they're just trying to reinvent themselves in the early 2000s. So it's not my favorite. Which I've seen people talking good stuff about this album. I just listened to very little in my life and never really, I don't know, never really spoke to me as much as I wanted to. So World Needs a Hero, it's not a hero for me. The System Has Failed. I think this album is very underrated. Ellefson left. Do not know the name of the bass player that played on this album, but Chris Poland is back. They got a jazz drummer to play Vinny something, and this album has great riffs, very underrated riffs. Blackmail the Universe, Kick the Chair, Something That Not, Die Dead Enough, Of Mice and Men. Just great songs that they play. A lot of the songs they play on the live album that I mentioned before, that one night in Argentina, but they haven't played much after its album. That a lot of fans forget, but a lot of people forget about it. But I think it's a very underrated album. I love this album, and I can see how it's very different. It's just Mustaine as the member from Megadeth. He had some issues leading to this album. I think it was his arm or something. He had to like relearn a lot of stuff to play. It was supposed to be a solo album. Due to contract issues, he had to put it as a Megadeth album, and well, I'm glad he did, because it is a hell of an album, underrated, no one talks about it, and I'll recommend you to listen to it. United Abominations. It's a okay album. It's from we are in 2007 over here, guys. Sorry I missed a little bit of the time frame, but we are in 2007. The brothers Drover, Sean and Glenn, Sean the drummer and Glenn the guitar, with James Lomenzo joined the band. New quartet, the only album that Glenn Drover play, and it's a okay album with a couple, Gears of War, Washington Snacks, Sleepwalker, couple of decent songs. I want to put on. I'm not a big fan of this album, honestly, but there's a couple of songs that I like. I like a couple of songs. I like the production as well. I can listen to it, if that makes sense. They have a version of A Tout Le Monde with Christina Escabia on the vocals, which it's a mistake. They shouldn't put it. I don't like when bands repeat the song. different version on the official track of the album. If it was a a bonus track or something, but it's on the album, so I just not a big fan of that. But it's okay album. Now let's go to the next one. So Glenn left the band and Chris Broderick came to replace him. The other three guys are the same, obviously. And Endgame, it is, I think, is the next one I'm gonna put on underrated. I want to put as a great album, but I'll go to underrated because, man, it's just the start to finish. It's shredding, heavy, balls to the wall, like no room to breathe. Is great production, first of all, and Broderick fits so well. He is such a good, like, amazing guitar player that he was a perfect fit for the album. I feel like he was a perfect fit for Megadeth at that time. It's sort of like a back to the roots, trash, legacy style. Endgame, it is a hell of an album. It's just not iconic because it's not, it doesn't have the iconic feel to it. It's not with the iconic lineup. It's not in the iconic times. It's not. But as an album, I'll put on great album, but I want to put this one on underrated because it is very underrated for reasons I just spoke it, and not many people talk about it. So, Endgame, it's top 3 favorite. It's hard to say, but it's up there on the trash metal albums for me. Maybe top 5 Megadeth albums for me. 13. It is the 13. And it's a very okay album. I can listen to it. I remember expecting a little bit more of this album just because of Endgame, and I felt the band would just navigate towards the same sound they had. But they sort of they mix a little bit. They try to do sort of like revival of Countdown to Extinction with Euthanasia / Cryptive writings, and they aim to everything, and they end up not doing a good job. There are great songs, and there was the first time I saw Megadeth live was on the 13 tour in Brazil. There's a couple songs that I like: New World Order, Sudden Death, Public Enemy #1. Black Swan's a very underrated song. Deadly Nightshade, but when 40% of the album is good, it's not very memorable. It's okay. It's okay. I guess was another try to repeat what they did in the past, maybe. It's really hard, but 13 is an okay album. Moving to the next one, by far, Super Collider, the worst Megadeth album of all time. Super Collider is very bad. It's awful. There's nothing to it. The best song of the album is a cover by Thin Lizzy called Cold Sweat. So it's not. I don't like this album at all. It's soulless. Doesn't have much identity. It's, I'm gonna move 13 to decent. I feel I like this album more. Maybe I'll move Killing's My Business. Let me think about it. Or yeah, maybe Killing Is My Business is on decent. With the first 3 albums here, maybe the intro, the 3 intro of the band, and then 13 is. I'll move this way. Yeah, I'll live this way over here. Then Broderick left. Dave Ellefson got back, and Sean Drover left. So Chris Adler from Lamb of God play at Dystopia, the next album, with Kiko Loureiro from Angra, and Dave Ellefson's back. So Dystopia, I'm gonna put iconic. Even though, just listen to me, doesn't have the iconic feel to it because of time and the formation, the lineup. But I think Chris played a couple of live shows with the band, and if there was a formation, there was a lineup that we go through another couple albums, that will be my second favorite Megadeth lineup, because Kiko is just I think people met him after he joined Megadeth, obviously, because Hungary is not a very popular band, especially in the US. It's more Asia and South America. But the guy can play everything or anything, piano or everything. And Chris Adler is just the hell of the drummer, one of the best modern drummers of all time. And I think Mustaine and Ellefson are just, I think, fit so well, like from Dystopia to Conquer or Die, Post America World, to Poisonous Shadows. I think Death from Within, everything, all the songs have something to where there is a different feel from the solos from Kiko to Mustaine. There's a couple of songs that he co-wrote with Mustaine, so just a different vibe to the band. And I think this album is iconic. They make Megadeth win the Grammys after so God knows how many years, but that's not the reason, right? That's not the reason for it. I think if there's an album to win the Grammys, there'll not be Dystopia, but anyways. So the Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, last album, 16th album of Megadeth. It is, I'll put it as a decent album, for just because it's not as impactful as Dystopia. Megadeth went through, there was a whole drama with Ellefson. It was the last album with Kiko Loureiro. He left maybe 2 years after that. This album's from 2022. Dirk is still in the band, play on this album, and Steve DiGiorgio ended up, I think Ellefson recorded all the bass and then they have to take it off, and then Steve DiGiorgio recorded the bass again, the tracks. So Sick, the Dying, the Dead, there was great songs like Dogs of Chernobyl, Life in Hell, Killing Time, We'll Be Back. But for me, it's not as impactful and different as Dystopia, if that makes sense. But it's still a decent album. I don't know. Hope that makes sense. I'm thinking I'm maybe too harsh on it. I didn't want to put, because I am a big Megadeth fan in the sense of I like most of the stuff Megadeth put it, right? But I don't want to put everything is great. I just want to give a little bit of reason to why. But our K Megadeth album is still better than most of the thrash metal albums, if that makes sense. So I don't know, let me know what you think. Obviously you can't disagree with me on the comments, and I think you will, so just go easy. Just try to be supportive and try to be nice when you explain why the reason, right? I know it's everything is my opinion. I'm not 100% correct on anything that I'm saying over here. Just my opinion, and I just want to debate and hear your opinion on the comments, right? Let me know if you want to see more videos like that, and I appreciate everyone's time, support. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share, and just don't kill me in the comments, but you can say whatever you want. But what is your favorite Megadeth album apart from Rust in Peace? Maybe, I don't know, is that even a thing? Let me know. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.